Since 2014, when Ukraine was confronted with the conflict in its eastern regions and the annexation of Crimea by Russia, and especially since the escalation of the conflict in February 2022, when Russia launched a full-scale invasion, Ukraine has taken extensive measures to deal with the situation. Here are some of the key aspects of how Ukraine is dealing with the war. Military defense. Ukraine has significantly expanded and modernized its military capabilities, partly through massive support from Western countries in the form of weapons, military equipment and training. Ukraine's armed forces have used both conventional and asymmetric tactics to counter the invasion. International diplomacy. The Ukrainian government has worked hard to mobilize international support. This includes financial aid, sanctions against Russia, military support and diplomatic efforts to counter Russian aggression. Ukraine has also sought membership in the European Union and NATO to strengthen its security and political stability. Humanitarian measures and citizen support. In view of the massive displacement and destruction caused by the war, Ukraine has initiated comprehensive humanitarian measures. These include support for displaced persons, the provision of accommodation, food and medical care, as well as reconstruction aid for the areas affected by the war. Information warfare and propaganda defense. Ukraine has taken active measures to combat disinformation and propaganda spread both domestically and abroad. This includes the use of media and social networks to disseminate accurate information and influence international opinion in its favor. Economic adjustments. The Ukrainian economy has been significantly affected by the conflict. However, the government has attempted to ensure economic stability and increase resilience through various reforms and the support of international loans and aid packages. Overall, Ukraine has shown considerable resilience and adaptability in an extremely challenging situation, supported by a broad international coalition committed to the country's sovereignty and territorial integrity. Ukraine in the 21st century is a country characterized by significant political, economic and social upheaval. After gaining independence from the Soviet Union in the year 1991, Ukraine has traveled a long road of state-building and democratic development. In the year 2004, the Orange Revolution took place, a series of protests triggered by electoral fraud. The demonstrations led to new elections in which Viktor Yushchenko was elected president, which was seen as an important step towards strengthening democracy in Ukraine. 2014 was another decisive year for Ukraine, characterized by the Euromaidan protests that led to the overthrow of President Viktor Yanukovych. These events triggered the Crimean crisis, during which Russia annexed Crimea, which is widely recognized internationally as illegal. The ensuing conflict in eastern Ukraine, particularly in the Donetsk and Luhansk regions, led to an ongoing military conflict that claimed many lives and resulted in extensive international sanctions against Russia. Economically, Ukraine has experienced ups and downs, with corruption and inefficient state-owned enterprises long seen as obstacles to growth. In recent years, however, reforms have been introduced aimed at improving transparency and encouraging foreign investment. Culturally, Ukraine has a rich tradition that is characterized by the country's diverse population. The Ukrainian language and culture have experienced a renaissance, particularly as a means of strengthening national consciousness and independence. The 21st century is a time of great challenges for Ukraine, but also of significant opportunities to consolidate its sovereignty and further develop its social and economic structures. Kyiv, the capital and largest city of Ukraine, is an important political, economic, cultural and scientific center in Eastern Europe. The city is located on the Dnieper River and has a rich history dating back over 1,400 years. Political and economic. As the capital of Ukraine, Kyiv is the seat of the national government, including the president, the parliament, Verkhovna Rada, and numerous ministries and authorities. The city is also an important economic center, home to numerous industries, high-ranking educational institutions, and leading technological companies. Cultural. Kyiv is known for its rich cultural history. Famous landmarks include the Kyiv Cave Monastery, Kyiv Pecherskaya Lavra, a UNESCO World Heritage Site, and St. Sophia's Cathedral, known for its Byzantine architecture and precious mosaics and frescoes. The city is also a center for Ukrainian art, music and literature. Science and education. Kyiv is an important educational center in Ukraine. It is home to many colleges, universities and research institutions, including the Taras Shevchenko University of Kyiv, one of the oldest and most prestigious universities in the country. Population and lifestyle. Kyiv's population is culturally diverse, which is reflected in a mixture of traditional Ukrainian and Russian cultural influences. The cityscape combines historic architecture with modern high-rise buildings and business centres, and the city offers a lively atmosphere with numerous cafes, restaurants and nightclubs. Despite the challenges posed by political tensions and the conflict in the east of the country, Kyiv remains a dynamic centre of hope and progress in Ukraine.